hey, we got sponsors, guys. Kind of
Nice.
crazy. We're, you know, that we're growing and how far we've come in just a short amount of time.
Yeah, it hasn't been that long.
No, it really hasn't. It's only been 5 months.
Yeah.
Can you believe that? Episode 21. So, yeah, about a little over 5 months. Our first sponsor, we're going to do a shout out to Always Well Acupuncture. It's one of the members of our gym, Rebecca. She owns a acupuncture studio. She's been doing acupuncture for 19 years. She's had awards all over Portland. She was in a magazine. It was a Natural Awakenings magazine. So they're no longer around anymore. They had to close their doors in, I think, at the start of the pandemic.
Okay.
But still a lot of stuff online of hers. Be sure to check out their website. It's going to be in the description below. And hey, guys, if you mention F.A.W.B when you book your appointment, she's going to give you guys a 10% discount. So
nice. Pretty
cool. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Always Well Acupuncture, in the description below. We also have Dad's House, where home is home. That is Matthew, a.k.a. Dad's online store. He's also helping support the podcast here. So, hey, they got a lot of great stuff there, a variety of products you can get online. It's just like an Amazon store. And, yeah, everything you buy on there helps support him and what it is he's trying to accomplish in his journey. And we'd be happy if you were there and mention us as well, and he'd be able to help you out, all right? So, yeah, thank you guys. If you guys are looking to support the podcast, reach out to me. It's all going to be in the description below, okay? Sorry, first time doing this stuff, so... Anyways, yeah, that's what's up with the sponsors. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you, Matthew. And yeah, how are you guys doing this week? Let's start with Joe, man. How's your weekly update going, brother?
Listen, man, things have been going good. Been handling it at school. The WSU Jiu-Jitsu Club actually came into Columbia River Jiu-Jitsu. So we had we had the crossover episode that I was always hoping for. That
is awesome. What day did that happen?
That was yesterday.
Was it?
Yeah.
I didn't even get a text, man. They don't text me anything. They're like, hey, bro, we got the WSU group here. Don't get on down here. Oh, that's awesome. Well, did you guys have a good time?
Yeah, no, it was a blast. It was totally cool. We had a lot of good rolls. We learned some good stuff, and I think that it was good for them to see where my jiu-jitsu came from.
Yeah, for sure. Did you meet? They meet Chris.
Yeah.
Did you introduce him to the wizard?
To the wizard. Yeah.
This is who taught me my skills.
Yeah. Right.
He's this man here.
Yeah.
That's awesome, bro.
Yeah, and I think it's it was a good time, man. We had a really good time. We're gonna meet. We're trying to figure it out now where the jiu-jitsu club comes in once a week. But we got to figure out how that's going to work with everybody's schedule, because everybody's schedule just changed.
Super difficult, man, to freaking organize people. I mean, we're learning that just with the competition team and everything. Just trying to get a group of people together.
Yeah.
And, just meet up is super difficult.
Yeah.
But, I hope that all comes together. And next time you guys are here, let me know.
Yeah, I will.
I'll show up. Who is it? You said you're your professor? And,
my old math professor and then Kellen. And then we had one other guy from another place that showed up. It was a good time.
That's awesome, bro.
Blessed.
Heck yeah. Well, what have you been up to, Ninja Steve? I mean, so it was your first day into Columbia River Jiu-Jitsu, right? It's your first experience here. You haven't been training in a little while, so you just wanted to jump back into the pool and test it out, huh?
Yeah, I got to get back on the horse eventually. See,
that's what's up, bro.
Yeah, I just switched careers and stuff like that, so this new job's been keeping me tired.
They don't do that. Yeah.
What are you doing for work?
See, I'm working at a rebar shop now, working my way into the local 29 Ironworkers Union.
Oh, yeah,
man.
that's rough work.
I was gonna say that's physical right there, bro.
It's character, that's for sure.
That it does, brother. So let's get into a little how we know each other, Steve. We met over at one of the Scrapyard events, right? And you've been competing over there for a little while now.
I want to say roughly 2 years now. See, I take good gaps in between fights and stuff like that. I feel like it's good for recovery and stuff like that.
Definitely.
But no, it's been an awesome experience. I've met a lot of cool people there. Even got to like put together like a group of guys. I call them the backyard bastards.
The backyard bastards. Shout out to you, fellas.
Yeah, that's an
we got
awesome name.
Chongo and Redneck and Victor. All you guys. I think even Chef's been over and trained with you guys for a little bit over at Backyard Bastards. And John Edwards has been there too, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Look at that. I know all of them. I've been watching you guys too. It's a great group of guys. I've actually trained now. I think I've trained with every one of you guys.
Yep.
Shout out to Redneck. He was supposed to come in today, but he couldn't make it. I got a text from him. Just couldn't make it in today. So hopefully we'll see him next weekend at the event. He's probably the only one now that I have the least amount of time training with. I trained with him a little bit prior to his last match against Chop for that night fight.
Yeah, seen that. That was crazy.
An awesome match.
That was
bro.
awesome.
And two high-level competitors, two big boys out there. And Chop hits hard, bro.
I could tell.
He hits super hard. And Redneck, he kept his composure, handled it well. He really managed that range well.
Mm-hmm.
Kept setting up that high head kick and, ended up walking out with the victory. So
Most definitely.
shout out to him. Congratulations again. Can't wait to see you back in the ring. And shout out to all the backyard bastards. Hopefully we can get them in here on you should be in here on like a Friday night free for all, bro. We got the open mat going and we got a bunch of our competitors in here and we'll have a nice little cross train.
Most definitely.
So it'll be awesome to get you guys in here. A lot of good competitors coming out of there. How'd you hear about the Scrapyard?
So actually, I grew up like across the states, right? My dad was living that outlaw life and stuff, so we were moving.
Sounds
around
like
a
our
lot.
fathers. We might have the same fathers, huh? All three of us, just different mamas.
But so I'd stumble across the Street Beefs videos all the time growing up, right? My older brothers watched it and stuff, and it wasn't until like I want to say roughly 5 years ago now that I actually moved to Vancouver. And my brother-in-law at the time, well, I guess he still is. He's my good buddy Victor. He's one of the bastards.
Mm-hmm.
But he was telling me one day out of the blue, he's like, "Hey, I know a guy that knows how to get into Streetbeefs Scrapyard." And I was like, "No way, you gotten into Street Beefs?" I was like, "I'm gonna be there."
Right?
And it was like the worst case scenario on my part, because I didn't take training seriously whatsoever. And I'm like, I've been in a couple street fights. Like, what could happen?
Everybody thinks that, by the way.
Yeah.
I was just gonna get into that, man. Like it's always funny, that misconception of what you think you can do.
Most definitely.
It's so common, bro. It's I would say that's also like a white belt mentality. So that may fall under the forever white belt stuff. We'll see. I don't know.
And see, like we get like I want to say I put like a solid 8 days of training all together.
So we got a weekend.
Over a 3-month span. So like I had the opportunity, but the drive wasn't there.
Yeah. I got this, bro. I got this.
I was so confident until we rolled into the yard, right? And then like seeing everything, like my mood, like I was still confident, but I was like the nerves were settling in. And like they, especially with your first fight, they don't really tell you who you're fighting. You know
That's
what I mean?
right.
Yeah.
So you know when you're getting in the ring pretty much, unless you're being a social butterfly and you just run into the guy. So like we're just hanging out there around the yard, and Victor, he knew who he was going to be matched up with, because at the time there wasn't really a lot of bigger fighters, so they kind of like pre-matched themselves with coordination from Fire Chicken.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I was like, yo, I'm there with you. I don't care who they give me. So but there was this dude just like by himself. He
Over
had
there
his
hitting a
headphones.
tree.
Yeah, no, for real. He was like,
No, I just hope it's not that guy.
he was like slow jogging, like shadow boxing, like for at least 2 hours before we got in there.
Oh,
Just like
jeez.
by himself. He was in the zone. I was
He's
like,
all, I camped out here. I slept across the street.
I swear, I was so intimidated. Like I didn't have any idea that was my guy at the time, right? I'm like, whoever gets that guy needs to eat. Better hope they ate their Wheaties this morning.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then so my turn comes around. Victor went before me, and it was a great match. Super cool.
Is that the one who got the knockout?
See, I don't believe he knocked that his first opponent out, but it was a strong match the whole
Yeah.
time.
Good.
Mean, violent strikes back.
Yeah,
and forth
Victor
the whole
hits
time.
hard, bro.
Yeah, he does.
Man, big boy. Big boy, yeah.
But yeah, I get in the ring, right? I'm like, all right, yeah. And then the guy comes in. I was like, I just looked at Victor, and then he's like, be strong, buddy.
He's all, Well, I mean, what do you say to your fighter when he's already somewhat mentally kind of like,
You've got this.
Yeah. We just gave each other that look, and I knew. I was like, oh, I wish I would have trained
all-
more.
keep your hands up.
Yeah, keep your hands up.
Keep your hands up, move feet around.
Oh, it
Great
was so,
advice.
it was so sloppy, man. That dude was throwing me around.
Yeah.
And every time he touched me, it was like the hammer of God was touching down.
Oh man, what a great first
No,
experience.
yeah,
though, huh?
like I guess I landed a couple shots, but like in my head in the moment, like I didn't even know I touched him until like I just tickled his liver, just luckily, and you know he was out in the second round, I believe. But that was just a miracle. He was about to kick my ass for 3 rounds straight, I swear.
Does he know? Does he know like how you felt?
I'm sure he will now.
He does now. He's like, you were that close.
Hey, if he ever came back, I don't want it.
Oh man, but you probably changed his perspective too.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's you brought up a really good point, because there is that like crazy feeling, especially when it's your first competition, is you don't know what that other guy's thinking.
Right.
So you create that monster in your head. Sometimes that's what you're really scared of. It's not the opponent, it's yourself.
Most
it's what
definitely.
you created in your head. Do you feel like this competition like changed the way you view training? Did you start training after that?
Oh, most definitely. After that first event, me and Victor actually got out of just backyard training, and we went to Fisticuffs here in Vancouver, Washington.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
gym too.
Yeah, they are a good gym. We spent like quite a few months there before we attended another Streetbeefs event.
Isn't that funny too?
Yeah,
man?
yeah.
I got all that misconception down. I need to really go plug in.
Yeah.
Which is also another great thing about competition. That's actually how I view competition. Is it really does for me anymore is just I find the holes in my game. And that's a way that I can go and I can train against somebody that I don't see all the time, that it's going to come at me full speed, and we're going to have a solid, training session. That's the way I look at these matches. I don't look at them as like, this is a fight, because if it's a fight, I'm not going to wear gloves, I'm not going to wear protection stuff. I'm not going to worry about rules or anything like that. Like, we're having a match so that you can help me plug the holes in my game, and I can hopefully help you too. We can have that nice competitive exchange.
Most
so
definitely.
it's good that you had that sense after your first match that like, hey, if I want to continue to do this, I should probably learn some of the science behind this and all the nuances that come along with this, because that misconception you had of going into the event is so common, bro.
Yeah.
It's a weird little ego that I feel like men have in general. Like, yeah, no, I know how to do this, and if somebody was to hit me, I can do this and I can hurt them.
Most definitely.
I'm a big boy. I know I can hurt somebody if I really got mad. So you have that like in your head. It's like, if it's ever there, I'll just break the glass and, this guy's done for. And then you go to actually do it and test it, and you come to find out that like you're bringing a squirt gun to a freaking wildfire sometimes. And it's like, no, bro, that's not how it goes. And sometimes it's better to find that out in like a competition match or here at the gym than to go out there on the street and have that mentality and you go against somebody that, they really don't give a shit about you, and they end up hurting you bad or ending you for good. So that's a great way to, mentality to have, man. Sometimes that ruins people. Like I said, you might have done that to that guy that you fought, because we haven't seen him back.
No.
Right? You might have ruined his whole, like, everything. He could have had an ego. He's out there. Man, I trained. He's there 2 hours for everybody. He's feeling good. He's looking like he's in shape.
Yeah.
And then he goes out there and gets gas in the second round.
It's so weird that you can't tell who's going to make it. You can't tell what's inside somebody. Sometimes we always try to see, like, if somebody comes into the gym and we're like, we want to like weigh in on who's going to make it.
Right.
Yeah.
And
you
I'm
surely
never
never
right.
know.
I'm never right, dude.
There's some dudes
Yeah.
that really surprise you. You're like, oh, bro, he's still coming back. Hey,
Yeah.
good for you, buddy. He
Yeah.
just has that grit. You're just like, where'd that come from?
The guy
man?
that's like 30 and out of shape, like that dude keeps coming, but the yoked out dude with a 6-pack and can bench 400 pounds, like that dude packs it up and leaves. And you're like, what am I watching? What am I watching right now? What is going on? That is something inside. That's not anything
That's
that
not
I
a
can
physical
see.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, there's so many guys out there like that too.
Yeah.
So what kept you going back to a scrapyard, buddy? Like, what was your, let's put it like this. What was your best match, you feel like, after you got some training under you? How'd you feel going back to the scrapyard after you got some training?
So
Let's go with that question.
after like a few solid months of going to fisticuffs, like pretty hardcore, and I tried to be as coachable as possible. You know what I mean? I was always asking like what I was doing wrong and stuff like that.
How often were you training?
I was training almost every single day after work.
Oh, wow.
And
So 5 days a week?
just about, yeah.
Okay.
And it was like a good like 1-2 hours each
Yeah.
match, and
Some solid training, yeah.
and they
For
started,
the amateur stuff, especially with the job, that's some solid training.
Yeah.
yeah. And at the time I was doing professional hardscaping, so I was building retaining walls and paper patios.
Yeah, that's right there's a
Oh, man.
workout, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No gym needed with that job.
Yeah.
But see, after a while of getting beat up in the gym, it was good though. I went back and I got this guy that went by Wing Chun Master and stuff, and he was primarily like an MMA fighter, so like he stepped out of like his comfort zone just to give me a match and stuff like that.
Because you've only done boxing, correct?
Yeah, I've only done boxing. It started off pretty good, and then I want to say I got him halfway through the first round. I through the 8 count, he just kind of like the ref called it after that. I was like, all right, sweet. Like that felt way better than the first match that I ever had, because of course I won the first match, but I wasn't proud of my performance. You know what I mean? Because I was just kind of getting ragdolled until I landed that one lucky shot. You know what I mean? And
It still kind of like showed you like, oh crap, I won, but by luck or something like that.
Yeah,
That's what's out in your head.
Exactly. And like full respect to Damo Ascari for my first match, and Wing Chun Master for stepping out of his comfort zone with that one. Then I want to say my next 2 biggest challenges in the scrapyard was I took a jab at Lights Out's 135-pound title one time.
Shout out to Lights Out.
Yep, shout out to that guy.
Yeah, he's gonna be fighting death sentence, I believe, on this next event.
Oh, I can't wait to see
So
that.
this will come out on Thursday, and the event's on Saturday. So this will come out before the event. So yeah, shout out to Lights Out. I hope that you rep. I know you'll rep the scrapyard well. I hope you get that knockout though, man. Death sentence. He talks a lot, man. He talks a little too much for a lot of people. So, and he's a small dude, so it's not like any of us could get a shot at him. So it's up to you guys.
Right.
So help us out, guys.
And Lights Out has gas for days. I don't know how he does it. I mean, he's like fighting multiple times an event every single
Wow. Scrappy guy.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah. We went 5 rounds, and like I felt like I did really good for the first 3 rounds, and I was like pushing cardio workouts and stuff in preparation for that one. And like I felt like I held my own really good for those first 3, but then the 4th and 5th round came up, and I was like, "Ooh, I can't breathe." He did not stop the entire time. I swear.
Jeez.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
It was awesome though. It was a great opportunity, and I was super grateful for it. I want to say, and then they gave me this guy named Shad Foster. He was like. He was like 6'7". He was probably not that tall, but he was like a tower over me. And I'm like, what are you guys trying to do here?
Now, do you feel fighting against somebody that's has that kind of reach on you?
See, I'm primarily used to getting like taller guys because I'm like 5 foot nothing with no reach, you know.
Right,
What I mean?
right.
So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like something I'm used to at this point. Because I never really get like shorter guys because there's just not a lot of us over there. You know what I mean? So like I was kind of comfortable, but then I was like,
But this was a little bit like too much, right?
Yeah, yeah, he
It's
was
like
like-
I had to jump to hit his face.
No,
Almost.
for real. I needed
Yeah.
a step ladder in there, man. And, like, before the match, I was like, hold on, bro. Just put your arm out like this. And I put my forehead up to his fist. And, like, I couldn't even reach his armpit by
Right?
doing this.
No, bro. I totally know what you mean because I would fight when I was doing kind of the amateur circuit stuff. I'd fight heavyweight. I'm only 5'10". And
Oh,
I have
yeah.
a reach of only like 62 inches. Like I have little T-Rex arms, bro. So yeah, I'm going against heavyweights. It could be like 6'6", 6'7",
Yeah.
and they're lean and they got these long ass arms. You really got to work that head movement to get
Yeah.
inside. But even with that, it's like usually you slip a jab and maybe make one step forward, you can touch them. But if you got to slip that jab and run at them to actually touch them, you're maybe getting in one strike before they're out of the way. So yeah, it can get really difficult. That disparity can really add up.
Most
so.
definitely. And see, like I felt like I did really good against that guy Shad Foster too, because like he had that height and reach difference on me, and like I was getting in there kind of, but I forgot all about the body, like for whatever reason. That was like my golden target before the match started. And then like I just get in there, and then like it's a different atmosphere in the ring. You know what I mean?
You need that vision. We talked a little bit about that today. That
Yeah.
vision in the fray. Because a lot of times when you go in there, it's like instincts. I'm just doing instincts. I'm moving
Yeah.
instinctually. But the more you spar, the more you get acclimated to being underneath that type of pressure. You can sit there and think a little bit and start setting dudes up, and that's
Right.
when you start getting that vision in the fray.
Most definitely.
But it's pretty common. Yeah, you get in there and you just start reacting, and that's why things look so unpolished
Right,
in
right.
like some of these fights. It's like, yeah, when I'm on the bag, I look good. It looks clean,
Right.
but I don't have any pressure. I have nobody hitting me either.
Exactly.
So that's a great point you brought up.
No, most definitely. And so I just started headhunting on him. Like I think I touched his body like a couple times, but they gave him the decision at first, and then after it got released, they kind of like sent it to their review panel, and then they called it a draw after the fact and stuff like that. Just because like a lot of the audience has seen the video were like, no way, you know what I mean? But that was still an awesome match. Like huge shout out to that guy. After that, I really started working on head movement.
Again, competition, it shows you what I
Yeah.
need to work on, and there you go. As soon as I'm done with that, here I am back in the freaking lab working on shit. That's great, bro.
You
Hell
know, it's
yeah.
kind of weird. Like when you start to review a fight, and I've had this happen like with your fights, Nate, where I've watched your first fight a bunch of times, right? And the whole time I was like, Nate got him the whole time. And then like I rewatched it months later, and I was like, oh, that was more even than I thought.
Yeah. Oh,
He,
wow.
he was tagging. He was getting tagged.
Nate was slow. What's happening?
No, but it's like one of those things where like you kind of get like a little hyped about one fighter, and you don't notice some of the other
You
punches
get a
that are landing.
bias.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for
definitely.
sure.
We have it all the time. That's why as a coach, you got to take that element out almost.
Yeah.
You have to look. I don't know if scrutinize is the right word, but yeah, I mean, essentially that's what you do when you watch your fighters. I'm trying
Yeah.
to look for your mistakes
Yeah.
and where we can improve on, instead of just, as a fan or as like, oh, that's my brother in there. He's doing so good no matter what. That's kind of the difference in the perspectives.
Yeah.
But it's good now that we can go back and review some of these
Yeah.
matches. That's also some of the beauty of the Street Beefs,
Yeah.
is that these are online now, and we can go back and see some of that progression from like our first match to our latest match. Like, oh wow, night and day sometimes.
Yeah.
Good example of that, Matthew Taylor, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Look at him early on, bro. Freaking before he came to us, he was 3-10.
Right.
So not the best record, and then goes on like a 3-fight win streak underneath us.
Yep.
Ended up losing his last match by decision, but to Malik Ogun, 3-time champ.
I don't want that one.
Like you can't, there's no reason to hang your head about that.
No,
Yeah.
You went the distance with the champ, and
Yep.
it was a competitive match, and it was good. It was a good learning experience for him, and I hope Maliko learned a few things out of it as well. And
Most definitely.
that's what we're looking to bring to the scrapyard too, is high level competitors like that can match up against these guys.
Yeah.
And Dad's a great example of what we're doing with this program.
Yeah, most definitely.
Now we can turn some things around. With it being your first day in with us, how do you feel about it? And remember, we're on camera, but we can put pause and we can shut this thing off, bro. We can get going again. Just a heads up, Ninja Steve. No edits.
No, I really liked it. I've been meaning to come in for a long time, but
Yeah, we were speaking about that online for a little while. Yeah.
See, I just with this new job, I've been procrastinating and just being real about
It's
it.
easy to do that, right?
Yeah. And see, like when I first started at the rebar shop, they had me tying cages and stuff like that, right? And I got like carpal tunnel and fucking tendonitis and stuff like that. So like after a couple days of tying, like I'll wake up at like 3 or 4 in the morning, fucking just screaming, tingling. And stuff.
Oh yeah.
I can't tell
Those
you.
night terrors, bro. We
Yeah.
get those too.
See, I can't tell you how many times I've broken coffee cups, just like my arm just going like that.
Oh yeah,
And
jeez,
see,
man.
I got
See, you already got the tendons and stuff for jujitsu.
Yeah.
bro. We
Yeah,
just
right.
jumped.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
pretty much jujitsu right there.
Waking
you're
up and
there.
having to stretch out your fingers.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
Wake
right.
up, someone you're just choking somebody. Oh, who's this?
Right.
Yeah, same shit.
See, I've acclimated a lot more now that I've been there for a few months. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to slip back into the training and stuff because even if I'm not like consistently fighting, I still want to continue training.
Yeah,
because
Yeah.
I'm just a strong believer that it's better to be a warrior in the garden than a gardener in a war. You know what I mean?
Wonderful quote. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always what kept me in the game, really.
Maybe you can testify to this. We always feel that's like what we do here, the martial arts and stuff, and not just martial arts, but our community aspect and the social aspect is like therapy for us almost too.
Most
where
definitely.
it's not just a physical activity that we're coming and doing here, but it's also like an emotional. We get an emotional aspect of it, and because of that, it's kind of like an outlet where we
Yeah.
can, be decompressed, and then we can leave here feeling good about ourselves. Feel like a weight's off of us and stuff like that. So we get a lot out of it, out of coming here, other than just we're coming here and we're just gonna beat each other up, or we're just gonna learn a technique or a skill set.
No,
like
most definitely.
I think you're kind of tapping into that as well. It's like, I need this for more than just the physicality of it. I need it because it helps me mentally, cognitively.
Yeah.
It helps me.
No, I absolutely agree with that. I mean, like everybody, gets dealt their hands, you know what I mean, early in life and stuff. But sometimes that shit just sits with you. And I've always found martial arts and stuff like that so inviting for me because it is like a very safe environment and outlet for you to be able to like let go of some of that stress and stuff that you're dealing with right now. Because like, you got some people out there that don't have that option. So they're just running the streets causing some kind of crazy shit.
And martial arts kind of grounds you in the present.
Yeah.
I have to worry about this problem right here, right now, because it's coming right at my face.
Exactly.
So was your first fight in Street Beefs, was that your introduction into martial arts?
No, so I was a long time ago. I did like Muay Thai, and I've always been like super interested into martial arts. Like when I was a little kid, I'd be watching like the VHS tapes of the kung fu movies, like like a million
too, bro.
times over.
Yeah,
Us too.
I'd be watching
Ninja Turtles?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Be all up in the Power Rangers, like reenacting everything they're doing and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
gotta see-
martial arts is just full of autism, bro. That's all it is, man.
Or like Ip Man on Netflix. I swear, I just like
Yeah.
copy him the whole time.
It's like, yeah, I got it. Yeah, that was this guy's first teacher too. Was it, man?
But yeah, no, it's always been a strong interest of mine and stuff like that because like I believe it to be like a very therapeutical as well as what you were just saying. And then like just like I mentioned before, it's better to be a warrior in the garden than a gardener in a war. You never know. It's a crazy world these days.
Yeah.
So what was
Always been.
what was your first like actual like teacher? Like who was like you said
Formal
you studied
training?
Muay Thai?
Yeah, I studied Muay Thai in Winlock, Washington.
Okay.
At the time I was like probably like 13, 14. So I was going to school and I would get lessons from the guy by cleaning his mats and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it was small town stuff too. So he was like really
Garage
cool.
gym?
No, actually it was right on the strip in Winlock.
Oh, wow. You went into a place.
Yeah, it was an actual gym.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So,
There's not too many like flat Muay Thai places that are around.
Yeah.
At least not in Washington.
And see, like he had
Where we're at.
he had all kinds of pictures on his wall and stuff like that. Him and his wife did like competitions at some point in time back in the day, and so like they were like super cool. I want to say the guy's name was Chris. It's been so long now, but after I want to say his first year, he ended up closing his gym down, unfortunately, and just moving to a different area that was a little bit more populated because there's not a lot going on.
It's hard to, keep the doors open.
Yeah.
Selling martial arts. Everybody wants to do it, but again, it's like getting in here.
Yeah, and
You
it's
know,
a small
commitment.
town, you know what I mean? So it's like,
Yeah.
but that was super cool. Like they were like super inviting, and then like it just kind of like opened up a whole new world of like what I could do. You know what I mean? So that was an awesome experience.
That's great. Is that the only formal training you had? Was some Muay Thai?
See, yeah, at that point in time, that formal training in Muay Thai was the only actual training that I've ever had. And then, see, the reason why I stopped doing it is like I had this leg injury, and then I just, got
Had
out
to
of
get
it for a
out.
while, until way down the road. I got here to Vancouver and then started doing boxing with my buddy Victor and stuff. So he really got me back on the horse with that one.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. I mean, you got to have your buddies keep you accountable for
Yeah.
things. That's great.
Yeah.
Prior to Street Beefs, though, were you in? I mean, did you do any like street fights? You're in. It wasn't like your first altercation was showing up and having that match, or was it?
No, see, that wasn't my first altercation. See, just had to play the cards I was dealt. I had my son when I was like 15 years old.
Yeah.
and-
I had a daughter at 16. So
Really?
yeah, I get it. Yeah.
See, I couldn't get a job. But,
Shout out to my little girl. What's up, Lucianne? Love you, girl.
But yeah, no. So like, I was in a rough situation with my living stuff. You know what I mean? So I started picking up light work, fist fighting crackheads for money for a good bit there.
That's this guy. Here's a crackhead.
Did you
He's my
fight me for money back?
It's potential, man. I've had to get a lot of
It's
dental
all-
work done.
We got him back. Now that we got you here, yeah. Remember that one time?
Yeah.
We might need to pause
Oh
this.
man, that's how we go viral, bro. Old school crackhead fights when they're sober now.
No, for real. But I think that those experiences and stuff when I was like younger and like trying to just like do whatever I could to make money and stuff. Because I was mowing everybody's lawns, doing whatever.
Yeah,
you know,
Yeah, $20 back in the day.
for real.
There we go.
Yeah. If you're not attractive enough to whore yourself out, like
Yeah.
you gotta figure something else out. You
Crack
know?
gets expensive.
Yeah,
we know
for
it does, man. I get it. Oof.
Yeah. So like I never did anything like super crazy, but it was just like if there was light work, I'd pick up a couple bucks here and there by
Yeah,
going and
Sure.
picking up some stuff. But anyway, that I want to say is what led my confidence into my first match and what I was like, yeah, I got this.
You're like, yeah, I've been through some real shit. Bro.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I ain't worried about stepping in here and doing a match.
Right,
Like,
right.
yeah, somebody's tried to stab me before. This ain't really gonna bother me. Not realizing that.
It's a whole different atmosphere
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
mode and everything. Like it was like like the gate closed and like you can hear that lock shut and it's like, oh.
Well, it's also different when you have somebody preparing to have a match with you compared to just meeting some random person out on the street.
Yeah.
It's even emotionally because when it happens on the street, it's like this is happening right now. I don't have time to think about it. I don't have time to work myself up. I just have to do something.
Exactly.
Compared to when you go to some of these competition or events, sometimes we can sit around for a couple hours.
Yeah.
And you let those thoughts, you go through that match like 1,000 times in your head, and you let
Yeah.
those thoughts kind of build up, and that monster get bigger. You're like, oh. So by the time you do get in there, you're like, I'm already tired. What am I doing fighting? I'm tired.
Right.
You know, so we should have fought when I walked in here.
Right.
But I was rested. But that's part of like that learning experience when it comes to the sport too. It's like you got to learn how to deal with those before the match emotions and those after match emotions and all those things. You start to learn like the game of it, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh, there's a big broad field when it comes to this stuff. It's not just a couple guys kind of step in there and just swing their arms at each other. Like, no, there's a lot more that goes into it, and you start to realize that the more you're involved with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you have any plans for some future goals? I mean, what do you want to do with your fight career stuff?
See, I don't necessarily have any intention of like taking this on like a career type path. Like, I want to get at least one amateur bout in. You know what I mean? I know I can do it. I'm just scared.
Yeah, it's understandable, bro.
But I feel like those nerves, those like pre-fight nerves, they never go away and they never get like any easier or better. They just how you deal with them. You know.
I agree, 100%.
Because like I go to every street beef because I'm like 4-3 now. I'll go to every street beefs event like scared shitless. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna meet the wizard today. You know what I mean? Like the wizard's gonna put me to sleep. But you just go through it and you just compose yourself and it turns out really good.
I think you start to develop those tools, like you said, where this feeling actually doesn't go away. It's just my reaction and how I handle this feeling gets a little better.
Right,
Like
right.
I recognize it more. It's like, oh, this is what I felt last time, and then I went out there and I performed. I did what I could.
Yeah.
I feel either a little bit better going into it this time, because I trained a little bit more, which is what training helps you do, is
Right.
gets you, gives you that confidence and makes you more prepared when the time comes. Or you're gonna be sitting there and be like, shit, I wish I would have trained a couple few more times, and we'll
Right.
just see how this goes. But either way, the feeling's gonna be there.
Yeah.
You just learn how to deal with it more.
Yeah, absolutely.
In terms of the amateur stuff, man, I would say that you're more than ready, just for the fact that you have actual like in the cage experience already. Even though it is at Street Beefs, and there's that misconception that Street Beefs competitions at a lower level. They're all amateurs, bro. You be going into your amateur at one of these local events against somebody that's never been in a fight before,
Right.
that literally has just joined a gym, and because they're part of that gym, they're like, oh, well, maybe I'll pick up a match because it's safe to do a match.
Yeah.
Right.
You've been in real fights where that adrenaline and the stakes are higher, so your experience level is already higher than, I would say, a good 70-80% of some of these amateurs that are coming out for their very first match.
No, I appreciate that
So like you said, it's a matter of you and if you want to do it.
Right.
But keep coming through and get some good solid training under your belt, and you'll have that confidence. I mean, you met Bulldog Rob today, right? He's about your size.
That guy was cool.
Yeah, he's just been coming to us now for what, almost about a month and a half.
Yeah, I wish I could have saw you guys spar, but
I didn't let them spar.
You didn't let them spar?
Hey, we started at the
They
beginning.
were starting.
Yeah.
Like, less than like 30 seconds in, I immediately stopped him. I was like, oh, no.
I tell you what, he was dapping me up too.
I was like, boys, we don't do white belts on white belts the first day.
I was like, oh no, don't do
Okay,
that.
why did you come here to fight today? Yeah, no, Rob, we're still learning. We're learning
Yeah.
control. We're learning sparring doesn't mean fighting. And that's also something people have to learn when they're starting out is we have a standing rule. I mean, you hit as hard as you want to get hit, bro. If you're in here and you want to bang, then I guess we're going to bang.
Yeah.
But what's going to end up happening is I'm just going to be the one that bangs with you.
Yeah,
and we're
exactly.
just going to go like that until one of us falls, I guess.
Right.
And I may not want to train with you like that all the time. So you may get stuck just hitting a bag some days.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to allow you to train with other people because I know that that's how you train. And if you're in here knocking me out and I'm the coach, then I'm not going to pass you along to get, to hurt anybody else.
Most definitely.
Now, having said that, you're coming through, and that's really how you want to be, and you're not taking any of the lessons that we're trying to implement. Like, hey, safety first, guys. People have to go to work tomorrow. Like,
Yeah.
there's a level. Like, we allow banging like on a Friday. Like when it's open mats and stuff like that. But if you're injuring people, then like again, we're not gonna do a match fight, bro. We're just gonna really fight.
Yeah.
We're gonna take the gloves off. We're gonna really fight. Whatever happens after that, and then you may not be invited back here because you beat me up, and I have a really, really small ego. I don't want to look bad in front of my students. We'll just say you can't come back.
Yeah.
Just kidding. We just, we're trying to find like-minded individuals.
Definitely.
And I feel that a lot of people that are actually looking for like a community and a support system and looking to learn martial arts, they don't have that kind of mentality where they're looking to also injure people.
Yeah.
Those are going to be bad apples anyway. Like I don't think anybody wants to train with people that are looking to injure people in training.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
hey, we don't care what you do in your matches. That's why we have these matches, so you can go and go crazy. You know what I mean? Test out the techniques that we're training in here. But if you're going to injure the people we have in here, then why are we going to have you around?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nobody's learning from that.
Nobody's learning
Yeah.
from that. Yeah.
It's just building this guy's ego,
And ruining mine. And
Yeah.
that's not going to happen. Not here.
It was a very similar idea that I had when we first started doing the whole backyard bastard thing, because like it ain't nothing, like we're nothing special or anything like that. We just meet up at Hudson Bay and just take over like a little corner of the football field they got.
Yeah.
And but after like the first couple sessions, I started being like, all right, let's keep it at stingers and not bangers, because like if you guys want a hard spar, like that's fine, but like I'm the only little guy here. You know?
Right, yeah. Like, then we should have like a weight limit, guys. Like,
Right.
it doesn't really do much for me at being 145 pounds fighting some guy that's 245 pounds.
Right,
Like,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I guess if you give me a baseball bat, then we'll go.
Yeah.
But yeah, it took a couple sessions, and then we started getting like a lot more acclimated to actually like controlling ourselves, because like not all of us were in like a gym at the point in time, so it's like we were kind of just helping each other learn stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, but no, it was really cool, and I would tell everybody, like, if you got an opportunity to get like on an actual fight team, like go do that. You know what I mean? We're just a bunch of dudes fighting each other in the football field.
We're here to support each other,
Right,
you know.
exactly.
And sometimes
Training's training, though, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
at least we're doing what we can, and we're supporting each other, and we got our buddies here, and you're approaching it the right way. I mean, there's a lot of groups out there similar to your groups that are like, oh no, we have all the answers. You know,
Yeah.
come to us. We're the ones that have the answers, and we're the best, and blah blah blah. And then you see them train, and like you said, all it is like you guys are just getting together and you guys are just beating each other up. And usually with training like that, it's super inconsistent.
Yeah.
Because how are you able to train every single day if all you're doing is coming in here and someone's getting knocked out every day?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You're pretty much losing, or you're doing all your competition, shaving a lot of your career off in the gym for what?
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't make sense, and that's not a team I'd want to be a part of. That's not a community that's trying to build each other up.
Trying to make my brain tough, man.
Yeah, right. Just get it to rattle a lot, make my brain really tough, bro.
I'm trying to get a callous brain.
Yeah,
Call that conditioning.
my old lady, she likes it when I stutter. So that's what I'm really trying to do.
Oh yeah.
Man. So do we have any plans for the future to get in some more competitions? You said you want to do an amateur match. What are we looking at the Scrapyard, though? We're looking to go back? Or?
So I do have full intentions on going back. See, my last match, I got this guy named Sweet Pea. I was supposed to get this guy named Blacksmith from California, but he wasn't able to make it through. So they gave me Sweet Pea, which was absolutely crazy for me, because he was like perfectly my height, my reach, everything. I'm not used to that. So it's like it was still a strong match, good exchanges back and forth the whole time, and then he got me, and like he deserved every bit of that dub. I tell you what, that was an awesome experience. But I do want to go back though. But Austin Springer actually.
Shout out to Austin, NWC.
Yeah. Actually, I did his like setup and teardown for his last event, for the December event, and
we were there. I think I saw you there.
Yeah, you did. So he gave me like 2 months free over there and stuff. I haven't done it. I'm procrastinating.
Again, nothing over there. Nothing against that gym. It's just I'm a procrastinator.
Yeah, no, I'm just being real.
Yeah.
I'll do better.
Yeah, definitely. You don't need to. It's you looking to do one of their events?
He offered me a match in March. And
March
then,
1st, yeah.
Yep. And then he was like, we could set up a fight camp, give you some proper training and stuff. And I was like, all right, well, this is my work schedule. You know what I mean? Like, can we do this and make that work? And I haven't heard back from him yet. He's a busy guy.
Very busy. Yeah, he's
Very
also an
busy guy.
EMT and a firefighter too.
Really?
So,
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, he's a busy guy.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, he's on top of it. Yeah, give it a few days. I'd reach back out to him,
Right.
let him know if that's what you're looking to do. You're also welcome to come through, and we can, get you ready for that. We had a couple guys at the last event, the NWC event, that they reached out to me online, probably about 3 weeks to a month prior to the event, and we trained them here and then got them ready for their first ever competitions. All three of them went out and they all got wins.
Yeah,
So
I
that was
watched 'em
pretty
too.
cool. Yeah,
I
man.
watched 'em
You
too.
see
That was
Giovanni?
awesome. Yeah.
That big old boy?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Giovanni, when he came through, man, 6'2", 220 pounds. Freaking hits like a brick house. He came through the door and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna have a freaking busy day today. Me and him had a nice little good banger exchange.
I bet.
Hits extremely hard. Lucky he's still somewhat novice to where he's not chaining together a lot of combinations. And I had a little bit more cardio than him, so I just took him in deep water and tried to just keep him there. It's because that kid, if he hits you clean, you're going to sleep for sure. He's a big boy.
Yeah.
Him and Micah, his brother, he came through too, and I can't wait to see them two back at it, bro.
Yeah,
Hopefully
me
they'll
too.
both be in again. I've been talking a little bit to Giovanni online, and yeah, we'll see what's going on, man. I anticipate some big things from those two in the future. We're gonna get them out to the scrapyard too,
That's
so
awesome.
that should be real fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, not too many big, like really big boys that are high level strikers.
Right.
You know, that are real heavyweights that can really chain together that stuff. So when you can see those guys, it's always exciting.
Yeah, it is.
You know?
It's a treat too, visually. Just
Yeah.
seeing people move like
Oh
this.
man, who
my
doesn't
God.
love to see big guys that just bang, bro? Boom, boom, boom. I love that shit. So I mean, yeah, some exciting matches hopefully in the future. We're also gonna look to take the competition team up in March as
Really?
well. So think about that. You and the Backyard Baxters are always invited. Since we're all out of Vancouver, Washington. Yeah, we can collaborate, get together, and we can all ride up and go do the March event. I think that's the next time we're going to be heading up there.
Nice.
As a team, we'll be in March.
That's cool.
I may be going up this weekend to help out with the event. So,
Nice. Yeah, I was thinking about going up to Derek Gates actually. Shout out to you, dog.
what's up, Derek?
He hit me up and he's got one of his buddies and he was kind of like offered me to like be his first opponent for his buddy. And I was all for it at first and I was like, man, I ain't been doing nothing.
You start thinking a little bit. Oh well.
And like Derek was telling me, it's like he doesn't have any like formal training. He just spars with me. I'm like, all right, you know.
Yeah, but Derek, you're in the.
You're a bare knuckle boxer.
I was gonna
dog.
say you're a professional bare knuckle boxer, though, Derek. Let's not forget that.
No, for real. I'm not talking smack. I'm just doubting myself.
He's like, I was sitting there, you know, smoking a little. I was like, yeah, no, I got this. It'll be fun. I've done that, bro.
I'm responding to him. I was like, let me give you a definitive answer here in a couple days. You know what I mean? Like, I got to think about this before I sign up for an ass.
That's
whipping.
always smart right there. Let me think about it too. The good thing is it's boxing. You know what I mean? If you play your cards right, go in there and have a good solid match, you can protect yourself pretty well in boxing.
Yeah.
So, and you did okay today. I mean, it was good. It was a good way to acclimate you back into it. And we do long rounds.
Yeah.
And you made it through the rounds. You didn't gas out, so that's a big plus right there. That's most of the battle right there, bro.
Yeah.
Especially when you go in there against some of these smoker fights.
Yeah.
You make it through the 6 minutes and you can keep a high level pace on it. Sometimes you just are able to outrun the guy.
Right.
You don't necessarily have to land that big shot. It's just I hit the guy so many times and he wasn't able to keep up with me, and that's how you get the victory as well.
Right.
You know, so think about that.
Most
I think it'd be a good experience for sure. Yeah, man. Well, what do we got going on in the future, Joe? For you?
Oh, I
Anything
don't know.
coming up?
I don't think so.
How's the wedding plans coming, brother?
Well, we don't know what we're gonna do for the wedding yet. That's kind of like in the girls' court, you know.
We'll marry you guys
yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Like so I can wear my key.
Yes.
You know, the WSU club is still I think we had the other coach come in and look at all the stuff, the curriculum for this women's self-defense class, right?
Yes. Oh, did we get some of that together already?
Yeah, I guess so. So
Okay, that's
that was looked over today. I think stamp is okay, you know, and so we can move forward with that.
I'll have to check on that tomorrow, but okay.
You know, my back is starting to feel a little better.
Yeah, you got some rounds in today.
Yeah,
Heck yeah, bro.
yeah, I didn't burn out till the last round, and I was like, oh man, my back is killing me. But I lasted the 3 rounds before that.
And you did spar against some smaller guys that are generally faster than you. So
They're so fast. They're so
have to
fast.
chase them down.
They're very athletic and young, and you know.
even their movements are just so quick. And you're like, dude, stop moving.
Yeah,
You don't need to move that fast.
yeah,
Stop
just
it.
stop.
No.
About to turn this into a grappling match so I can rest.
Lay on you for a minute, man. Jeez.
No, but it was a blast, and so you know, if my back continues to get better and better, I'm gonna
Better
take
and better.
a competition. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
You thinking like a gi or no gi? Or you thinking like you want to get in there and mix it up a little bit?
I don't know yet, man. Yeah, I like the idea of going to the scrapyard. You know, I've never had like an MMA fight.
Yeah,
That would be cool.
that would be cool. That'd be fun. Yeah.
There's a jiu-jitsu match that's coming up soon too. I think Nick
Yep.
is going to it. it's kind of a smaller thing. I might do that just to get my
Yeah.
feet wet. I haven't competed in 2 years.
I was actually thinking about doing that one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think it's the gi one.
What are you gonna go as a white belt?
Of course, I'm a white belt.
Okay.
Sure. Forever
Yeah.
a white belt.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. No. I mean,
what's up?
hey, rules are rules, man.
Rules are rules,
If
bro.
I mean, the
No,
governing.
I think they have an open for gis, guys.
Do they?
I don't know. I'll have to see.
I have no idea.
If they don't, then I'll just tell them, hey, I don't have my colored belt. We can put like a piece of tape on it or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how that's gonna work. You could, go smash somebody in the white belt division.
I could though.
Oh.
I could try. Like,
I mean, hey, look,
I
man.
would-
It's not your fault. Rules are rules, man.
It's true.
So
And to be honest, if I show up there and I end up losing, I can,
Yeah.
it might look a little bit like, oh man, coach is getting tapped out by white belts again.
So I'm gonna just keep doing my physical therapy, and I'm gonna keep monitoring it as long as I don't get hurt. Hopefully I'll be able to compete soon.
Yeah, I hope
I'm
so,
I'm
bro.
I'm actually really excited about
Yeah,
it.
you look good today. You got a little flow roll in too. You moved
Yeah.
around fine, and that was after we did some stand up, and
Yeah.
you were able to move around afterwards,
Yeah.
which wasn't the case before. It was
No.
like once you got cold, you start to lock up.
Yeah,
So,
once the third round happened, I lost all head movement, and then I was pretty much cooked.
Yeah, I
yeah.
was like,
So I'm really excited about it, man. The seeing the progression is giving me hope. You know what I mean?
I love it.
Yeah.
What do you got going on? Anything in the near future for you, brother?
See, I'm really trying to get back into training and stuff. Like, so I want to go back to the scrapyard, and I want to hit up Austin for one of those amateur bouts. I might not do the amateur bout in March just because, I like to give myself a peace of mind of like, I'm doing stuff now.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But
We're still a good 6 weeks out.
that is fair.
Just a heads up, 6 weeks out. Here I am trying again, Austin. Get you some fighters, buddy. You're welcome.
I'll do better. He's been trying to get me to go to one of his matches for like a few months now. I just keep telling him like, I can't.
Yeah, no, I would, but I just pulled my back or something.
I'm grateful he still hits me up. I swear.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That's awesome, man. Well, like I said, we'll see how the training goes progressing forward. We'll bug you too. So, and sometimes that helps motivate people. Sometimes it's like, man, leave me the fuck alone. And, if that's ever the case, you can always just unfriend it all and block us and all that.
Yeah,
But we'll bug you, bro. I mean,
Yeah.
we got to do it to each other sometimes too. If I
Yeah.
don't see this guy, I'll be like, hey, man, where you been?
Yeah.
Show up. He does the same thing to me. If I'm gone for, we don't see each other. It's like, hey, bro,
Yeah.
what's going on? Why aren't you here? Because we also understand that, like I said, this is a therapeutic thing as well. And I know what it's like to go weeks without training. And it really messes with me mentally, emotionally, not just physically. I mean, I'm wearing a sweater because I put on 10 pounds. I'm trying to hide it. But yeah, man, it'll really mess with you if you really step away for too long. So we try to encourage people to come back in, even guys that end up getting injured. I still tell them, bro, I get it. You can't train. Show up though, hang out. Just hang out, because
Yeah.
if you don't, what ends up happening usually is that you find other things that fill that time slot.
Right.
And then when you are like healed up and you go back to training, it's like, well, I got to give up this to go back to that.
Right.
And this was difficult. This actually got me injured or whatever. And that's why I started doing this. So maybe I'll just stick with this. And you totally, months go by and then you're, I used to train.
I've always been of the mindset that like you can come in injured. You don't have to train that day, but if you just sit around and you watch, like, and you use your brain and you're like,
learning,
you start memorizing moves and like, oh, hey, I didn't see that there. I didn't see that there because I was always like trying to use my damn body, And so
It makes
there's,
you dissect things for sure.
yeah, absolutely.
Use other parts of your brain
Yeah.
to learn instead of just a physical part.
And keeping the habit, you're right. Just keeping the habit
That's
of
a big
just
thing.
getting in the car, going to the gym, smelling the bacteria,
Man sweat.
Yeah.
Nothing like it.
Yeah, it's not at home, that's for sure.
It's not at all. And we miss it. We miss it so much. Well, quick shout out to our sponsors again, guys. We're about that time. We're going to be wrapping it up. Another quick shout out to our sponsors. Always Well Acupuncture. Please check them out. Description or the link will be in the description below. We also have the QR code on our Facebook. If you're not a fan of the Facebook group yet, check out our Facebook group. It's called F.A.W.B. It's a Forever White Belt page. Add yourself to that. Send me a friend request. That thing's growing like crazy. Also check out Dad's House, where home is home. It's an online store. There is some like MMA gear on there. There's boxing gloves. There's all kinds of like household products you can pick up. Really great, really great service to have, and we're proud that they're sponsoring us. So go ahead and give them a look. Future things coming up. Let's see. We have next Saturday, which is the 25th. Yes, it is. It's the 25th. We're going to be going to the Streetbeefs event. It's the first one of 2025. We currently don't have any competitors competing in there, but I'll be there to help out with the event, potentially do some cornering, maybe get in there and do some reffing. So far, I've only ever reffed the BJJ match, and I'm looking to do a little bit more reffing, potentially get in some of that judging stuff. But yeah, just get more involved, and also we're excited to see everybody there. It's been a while since we've seen everybody, so we want to come back and make sure that our presence is still there and all that. Maybe Steve will be up there with us. Sorry, we're having people come through the door that are making cute faces. So it's funny. So we got that going on. We don't have anybody in the NWC event, but that's March 1st. Be sure to check that out. I'll get the dates for Nick's event and the name of the competition, because we'd like to support that.
Most definitely.
Shout out to Lone Wolf Academy again for allowing us to go and do some cross training. If you're in the Washougal areas, Ninja Steve, you might want to check out their gym too. Another fantastic gym. It's called Lone Wolf Academy.
Okay.
A lot of great people there, awesome instruction. And be sure to like, share, and subscribe, guys. Thank you for tuning in this week. Thank you, Steve, for coming. All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
And when I say I'm gonna do something, I do it. I don't give a